What's up, winners? On this channel, we learn to see through manipulation or learn habits. In this case, we're going to talk a little bit about habits, things that can be helpful to you. And we have a special guest, RHR Jen.
Hi, Dylan. Hi, Leo. Thanks so much for having me back. It's almost like a habit that you're having me back.
Yeah. See, Leo doesn't care about habits. He's much less engaged than he usually is. So he's gone.
His habit is to run and find snacks while you're occupied, right?
So you lost 100 and like almost 40 pounds. I guess you don't know exactly, but it's at least 130 something.
That's right. I think I'm up over 140 now. Yeah. 140 pounds in a year, just over a year and a half. Yeah. And I got to give you some credit because you have been very encouraging throughout and helping me with tips and tricks along the way. So thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, fitness is great. I've always been into fitness. I'm trying to think, 140 pounds in a year and a half. It's like a couple pounds a week almost, pound and a half.
It is. Yes. Yeah. So I did it. I say I did it the slow way because I'm at 18 months now. So if you break it down, it ends up being, I think it's like 2 pounds a week, which is recommended.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I was losing like 10 pounds a week because I had so much to lose. But then now it's not like that. So
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are some of the habits that have helped you?
Well, I think for me, it's consistency. Now, I do have a weight loss channel. I do want to plug It's Goose Adventures, where I really go into more of this kind of stuff, but I can tell you some overview stuff. But if you guys want to know more about how I lost the weight, what I ate, that kind of stuff, you can find me at Goose Adventure. But for me, it's about consistency. Again, habits are good. So the biggest change for me was changing the way I felt about food. I used to use it when I was happy or when I was sad. It used to be an emotional crutch for me. I had to stop all that. I had to realize it's just food. I had to let every emotion go. Even that when we say, oh, I'm having a cheat day, or oh, I feel guilty because I ate pizza, that kind of stuff, or a good food or a bad food. It's none of that. None of that. It's just food. So that's been a big change for me.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I've been into healthy eating since I was pretty young because I have the tendency to eat a lot. But I find if I just eat healthy, I just stay pretty healthy. And like I haven't had something like bread or sugar like, I don't know, 5 years. And when I say 5 years, I mean that. I'm not like, oh, like I gave it up 5 years. It's like this has been my whole life since I'm like 14.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But something like you're saying is I think it's like a reframe when it comes to eating because people will be like, oh, I don't eat normal pizza. There's all these good keto pizzas now made out like almond and stuff. People are like, how do you live? Like you're giving up your life. How do you enjoy life? It's like through most of history, people didn't even have enough to eat. They ate whatever they could, so they just have some limits on what you eat. And even with the limits, I eat better than a Roman pharaoh did. You can have foods from all over the world. Like there was never in history where you could have like tomatoes and they were from the New World versus the Old World. So it's just like
and getting food out of season is just a thing now, whereas it was not before. But because of canned goods and things, we can do things like that. You're right.
Exactly. You could have such a strict diet and you still have so much variety.
But
though for some people, like a lot of people, you can eat the same stuff as well.
Yes. And believe me, I always say when I talk about this stuff, I'm not trying to make it sound easy. It is not easy. I did it without the help of drugs, which I don't begrudge people that, take medicine to do that. Some people have to. I ended up in this thing and I've just worked hard every day and it's hard. It is hard, but it ties back into the book you recommended, Dylan, about habits. And I think that's been honestly the key to my success. It's not just one big life-changing thing like people want to believe it is. Like one day I woke up and I'm not where I was. It's not that. It's every single day. I have to think about everything I eat and everything I do and how I'm working toward my goals. So
yeah, and that gives me two thoughts. Is one, when you say it's not just one day you woke up, there was a doctor, I think he was involved a lot of people changing habits, like they're really unhealthy, they had addictions. And he said, a psychologist, and this was based on research. It's a nice little quip, but it's backed up. Change is a messy and inconsistent process. So obviously consistency is important, but even if someone's trying to change a habit, like for me, I was probably about 14 when I cut out sugar, junk food. I would binge eat it, but I failed many times. You know, it was like I would do a few weeks and then I would eat junk. I would do a few weeks and eat junk. So even if that process, that's still the process of getting those new habits. You know, it's messy and consistent until it is consistent.
That's right. So, like even with that though, let's say you to quote what you just said. So let's say you accidentally fell off and you feel like you failed and stuff. That's where what I think together we're saying together it works, meaning you're right. Most of the time do that. But if you mess up, you're not failing. It's just, okay, I messed up. So I treat it almost like a bank account, like I'm borrowing from myself tomorrow, meaning I had a bunch of sugar today. Well, tomorrow I just won't have any, you know, and then it kind of balances out, and it's really, it's taking, it sounds like it's taking the fun out of it. It's not that, it's just taking the pressure out of it.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think a big thing is too, is not moralizing it, making it more about what you want. So it's like, if you want to be healthy and feel good, that's what you want. So if you messed up, it's like, okay, I want to get back to that. It's not, oh, I messed up, so now none of what I did matters, because you still want the same thing. So it still makes sense to take those actions that help get you what you want.
That's right. That used to be my issue though. Exactly what you're saying. I was that. I would eat bad and tell myself, okay, well, I guess the diet's off. Monday I'll start again, but then it was never Monday. It was just always like, oh, well, but I can't Monday because I'm going out with my girlfriends, or I can't Monday because it's somebody's birthday. We're having a cake. There's always a reason, but you just, like, I've been telling people on my channel, because people have started losing weight with me. It's so cool. Like they've started in the last couple weeks. I've been posting and they're losing weight too. And I just tell them, because they're like, I don't know where to start. I'm like, you just start. I don't care if it's Wednesday at 3 p.m. and you've had fried food all day. You just say, okay, I'm starting now. And you just start.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because it's like, anyone could think back like a time when they could have started. And it's like, oh, if I'd started then, where would I be now? So
that's it. And in my last video, I literally just said, this is so weird to say it like this, but time is passing regardless. It's just going. So you got to make up your mind. What am I going to do with it? I can either let time pass and just keep doing what I'm doing and be unhappy, or time's passing regardless. If I just make some changes, which goes back into habits, subtle changes, things are going to improve. And that's what I found to be the case. So
definitely. And, that gets me thinking of two things. Is one, just to mention, it's not just weight loss, like with anything. You do all the time. Like, now both of us do YouTube full time. For me, it was just making 2 videos every day. And like, honestly, it didn't take me that much time, but it was just doing it consistently. And one thing that I like too is we could think, oh, I should have started then. But a fun little technique you can do is imagine the future. Like 6 months from now, imagine that. Like, so I could imagine, what is it now? It's June. Let's say next January, about 6 months, right? New Year starting. And I can imagine myself like, oh man, imagine if like last June, if I had just like lifted weights 4 days a week, even for 40 minutes each time, and I just drop my carbs, whatever works for you. It's, wow, by now I could be in great shape. So it's cool to think that regret we've all felt, but do it in the future so you could start now.
That's it. That's exactly it, because time's passing regardless. Now, I do think we should both say, because I always say this on my channel, we are not doctors. We are not nutritionists. What works for us doesn't mean it'll work for you. So, don't take our advice. Do your research. I will say that. But I found all these things, these habits, these patterns, like doing that is what made me successful. And it's very difficult day to day. I get it, because you want to eat everything else, but then it becomes not so much. That, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely, you get used to things. Like,
that's it.
I eat what would be. I mean, I could be better because I overeat healthy foods, but even when
Uh-huh.
I do that, I can't get too out of shape because you just
Yeah.
can't. Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
mean, if you even grapes or something, if they're so
uh,
sweet, you can like binge eat on a big bowl of grapes. It's like
uh,
300 calories. Whereas if you ate a quarter of the volume and the fullness of chips, it's like double the calories,
true.
five
Yeah.
times the impact on your blood sugar and everything.
That's
But
true.
yeah, you get used to things,
Mhm.
and there's a really cool thing. Maybe, or at least my part. I'll end on this. Is
Yeah.
there? There's the word Epicurean,
Okay.
which now there's like Epicurean markets, which now it's thought of. I think sometimes I hear it like the opposite of Stoicism, like
Mhm.
pleasure. It's like this market. It's so divine. Like people think of like Epicurean was Greek. Epicurus was a philosopher, and they
Uh-huh.
think it's the opposite of Stoicism, like
Okay.
ultimate pleasure, like enrich yourself. You always see it for like these fancy markets, fancy desserts.
Mhm.
But Epicurus was pretty close to Stoicism, and it's
Mhm.
really amazing how the modern world has. And I promise, guys, this is a good point. It's kind of
Uh-huh.
old, but the modern world's made all about like pleasure in the moment. Epicurus's idea was brilliant. It was have the most possible pleasure in your life, but
Okay.
the conclusion was the most possible pleasure in your life
Mhm.
often would include delayed gratification. So,
Oh,
right,
interesting. Okay.
people could say like, I've had some relatives, family members like, "Oh, why don't you don't enjoy life? I'm
Uh-huh.
eating this like white bread, white flour pasta, and I have a big,
Right.
belly, and I feel like garbage." You're
Right.
not enjoying life more. You're eating that
Right.
pasta for 10 minutes. I might get 85% of the pleasures to start out to have some alternative. And
Uh-huh.
eventually the pleasure is the same because your taste buds get more sensitive,
It's
but
true.
then you have more energy, you feel better, you
Yeah.
like the way you look more, you have more capacity,
That's it.
everything. So you actually have the more pleasure in your life in total by
Mhm.
doing the habits that are best for you.
Ah, that's an excellent point. You're absolutely right. I can tell just from my mood to exterior and everything, like my skin glow, everything. It's just I haven't found the downside to it, if that makes sense. It
Yeah,
was rough along the way. I'm not trying to say it's easy, but now that I've come through it, there's no downside that I found.
yeah.
So,
And if we think of this too, probably not everyone has 130 pounds to lose,
sure.
but let's say even if it's
Oh, I did.
15 pounds, go
Uh-huh.
carry around 15 pounds of weight all day and then put it down. How just that, the physical, how much better you feel, right? Or
Right.
you
There
know,
I am.
carrying
Yeah.
around 130 pounds. Oh my, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. There I am, yeah. That was me before. This was, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 130. Yeah, not the same human, and every time I there you go, yeah. When I say I'm not the same human, people are like, "Oh, no, you're the same person." I'm like, "No, it's
Yeah.
not the same." Drastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're speechless. Go ahead, what were you
Yeah.
gonna say?
No, see, I was gonna put it as a thumbnail.
Oh! You know what you should do is make this your thumbnail or go
Oh,
like
yeah.
this and then put me that's fine, you can put me in the middle, I don't care. Here.
I interviewed a weight loss expert about habits, and then yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, I don't care, it's
Yeah.
fine.
No, we'll figure out thumbnail.
Yes, but, oh, not that, I was going to oh, sorry, more time. There you go. So
Oh,
you
yeah, I was
find
saying,
my stuff at Goose Adventure. That's where I'm really breaking the stuff down, telling exactly what I ate, exactly what I've done. I'm answering questions. I'm even doing topics like how to handle stress with weight loss. And I
mhm.
want to go into these habits with weight loss. So, Dylan, I'd like to have you on sometime and maybe we could talk
Sure,
over there about
definitely.
habits and weight loss.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.